Welcome to MBC, where we talk money. We've got banter. We're doing it for the culture. Serial winner.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Hello. Yo. What are you saying, guys? Again, we're about to give them another quick fire one. So
Quick fire.
It's welcome
Fire, fire.
welcome back to Banter Culture, where we talk money. We've got banter and doing it for the culture, of course. Myself, Izzy, the
JG in the house.
Yeominator.
The Yeominator, you finally got it, man. It's about time. It's about time you got it.
And then you got JG or Jermaine or whatever you want to call him. Yeah, man.
Yeah, so I don't know. I thought today's topic, man, like I was talking to one of my boys, Anton, about the whole Branson thing that's all over the news. And then me and him were going back and forth about it. Like I was arguing from a business point of view, and he was arguing from whether it's morally right that the government, taxpayers' money should be used to bail out a billionaire. So honestly, I thought that would be a good topic for us to like discuss here, man, because
absolutely.
It seemed like, right now there's even a petition now of people just signing this petition thing for him to sell his private assets rather than borrow taxpayers' money. So, yeah.
Do you know what confuses me though? Like, I find it weird that, so I think a lot of people lack, I'm not even saying it to be insulting, I'm just saying a lot of the public kind of lack understanding of how the economy works. I'm not saying
when a butt comes here, it's usually something that's about to be dropped, man.
My view on it is one thing. I think a lot of the time, you scroll through Twitter and you see all these arguments, and for me,
I can see Izzy's passionate about this one, but
I'm not even being passionate. I'm just saying what my thoughts are. Is they need to look at it from the perspective of people think that what someone's worth is also like
is what they have in cash or something.
Exactly. So they're thinking, he has to furlough people to. Obviously, it's not. I'm not saying he wants to, get rid of staff because of cost. That's a business decision. That's not on the individual. Because even when you look at businesses, how they register. When businesses are registered, they're separate legal entities from the individual, right? Especially if you're opening a limited company. So the way I see it is, if his business is struggling, why is it on him to liquidate his assets, personal assets, to keep paying employees in the short term, especially if it's not like
the thing is, if the business owner doesn't want to liquidate his own assets, bail out his own business.
Why should we bail it? Why should we bail it? That's the way the taxpayers would say. Taxpayers say. I'll tell you what's happening. The taxpayers are angry with what happened in 2008. First of all, the bankers got bailed out, and the following year they went back to collecting big bonuses and stuff like that. So taxpayers have seen this already, and now a multi-billionaire comes in. This guy must be worth at least 4 or 5 billion, and he's saying, "Yo, bro, you man bail me out, innit? Otherwise I'm gonna sack all of my stuff." So the people are gonna be like, rah, another one? Like, what do we even get out of it as taxpayers? That's what the taxpayers gonna say.
What they get out of it is, for instance, if you look at the economy, for instance, they are people in jobs. For the government, that's good because they still have taxpayers' money coming in, right? They still got PAYE tax coming in. Whereas
Absolutely.
If they lose that, then you have unemployment rates go up, and you have a lot more. You have a lot more people.
They'll probably go and take some of those government schemes that are out there, And
so it's with all due respect, I don't want anyone to lose their jobs and anything. Was it 9,000 employees?
About 9,000 staff, yeah.
Is that too big to fail? I don't think so.
No, it's not too big to fail.
But
it's not.
Then why should they get bailed out?
Wow.
Yeah, well,
because based on
you don't want anyone to lose their job, though. Come on, 9,000.
You don't want anyone to lose their job. So what I'm trying to say is that I'm trying to say is that the way this is the problem I have with the current capitalistic system. We've gotten to too much towards crony capitalism, whereby the government intervenes with things that don't really need to be intervening. The market itself should correct it.
Absolutely.
So British Airways will then increase their market share, while
if Virgin goes down, BA basically on the market, isn't it? There's no competition in there.
Is BA not struggling?
They're struggling too. No, they are struggling.
So tell me,
they have £9 billion in reserves.
But they have furloughed their staff, and they have furloughed their staff.
And they have £9 billion in the reserves.
Just because you're furloughing people doesn't, in my opinion,
you're taking advantage of the government scheme.
Exactly.
Yeah, because you have to take advantage of that. Because
no, you
why
don't.
would I?
So why can't they have enough cash in their balance sheet?
No, but okay, let me finish. Why would I pay? When I can use the government to pay 80% of their wages?
So what?
Okay, from a selfish point of view, I get what you're saying, but come on.
Yeah, but if it's there already, why shouldn't I take advantage of it? But the problem with Branson is that he wants to use the furlough scheme and borrow money.
Was it furlough, or he just said 8 weeks unpaid leave or something to the staff? I don't think he even furloughed them. Did he?
He first of all he offered unpaid leave in the beginning, I believe it was.
Yeah, 8 weeks or something like that.
And people on 8 weeks unpaid. Who's going to sign up for that?
Yeah.
Nobody. It's not going to work.
But the fact that he wants that, I think they said for him to cover that 2-month period would only cost him like 8 million. Someone that's worth 5 billion can't even just bail out his own staff of 8 million for 2 months.
Cash?
Come on. Okay, if he's worth 5 billion, he probably has at least 200 in cash. I don't know. I'm guessing.
At least 200. I'd say at least 200. I would agree with that. At least 200. I would agree with that.
I don't know. It's an assumption.
If you're worth 5 billion and you're not a startup company, and your company is mature, it's been around for 20 plus years, you should have at least
I'm talking his personal wealth, even not his company. Yeah. His personal.
And if you can afford to buy an island, how much does an island even cost? Can someone run me the rain check on that, please? Like, if you can buy an island, you must have at least 200 million in your bank. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I heard that.
Me personally, I have no problems with the furloughing scheme. I'm quite happy with that. But if you want to furlough and ask the taxpayers to bail you out
for money, I
think that's a bit too much. I think that's
it is.
That's a bit too much.
I think what's it, the Virgin Australia one?
Like I said, you can still make the argument that the fact that he's creating jobs anyway means
that he doesn't have to pay tax. He doesn't have to pay tax because he's a tax creator. He creates people that pay tax.
Yeah, but the point.
Yeah,
it's kind of like the money just recycling itself in the system. Does that make sense? It's kind of recycling in obviously at this point to I guess Branson's advantage, so that he can keep his business afloat, but in the long term, it's good for the government.
Yeah, but we know that this system favors those who create jobs or invest in the economy. Branson has done that multiple times. Maybe
done it so many times.
He should be able to get that money.
But my question is, if Branson does this, who's to say that Sir Philip Green doesn't come and say, "Yo"?
I think he's one of them as well. He's already following up staff already.
Let me try to get that loan as well. And he's a fucking prick.
He's an idiot.
He's a fucking prick. Like, if
these are sirs, remember, these are people they made sirs, boy. That are not even morally correct. So that tells you.
So all of them are going to start collecting collectively. Yeah. Like, to me, I think that might be just a cash drain on the taxpayers' money.
It's the wrong message to send out to the ordinary person.
Absolutely
isn't it?
Wrong message.
It's the wrong message. But at the end of the day, the government also needs these businesses to create these jobs. That's why they offer them all these different types of tax breaks and all this stuff.
Yeah,
tax breaks. I think tax breaks in general are a fantastic idea because it creates jobs. That I'm happy with. But when you have someone has milked the system for such a long time, I don't even think he pays tax in this country. Does he even pay tax in this country?
Most likely not.
Why should I sign up to help him out? Why should I help him out?
The three of us probably pay more tax than him together.
Listen, I'll tell you a funny story. The company I used to work for before, I paid more than I paid more tax than the company, and the owner was worth £300 million.
Okay, so my question here
big stats, boy,
is
the
issue. So the question here now is that is the issue with the individual or is it with the system?
Because that's what you need to.
I see what Izzy's saying. I see what Izzy's saying.
That's why I said this earlier. The system favors those who invest in the economy and those who create jobs. So we can't technically complain.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, if you think about it,
you're playing on the wrong side of the field. Like,
what's their incentive for creating jobs? Like, it's kind of like an incentive for them to
make money. They make money
as opposed to do business elsewhere. Because I'm sure there's all other places that they could set up shop.
Listen, the airline business. I'm sorry, the airline business doesn't have that luxury to say, "Oh, we're gonna set up shop, pay it this and that." Listen, we can substitute you real quick. If Virgin does want to fly here, fine. British Airways can fly here. EasyJet can fly here. You're not in that power, in my opinion, to start dictating terms. You're not.
It's a sticky one because, like the problem you're always going to have is that you're going to always have like public opinion on these kind of situations.
It's public money, so it's always the public involved.
Yeah, I agree.
How many times do you get them letters where they send you a breakdown of where your tax money went? And if you know that you spent more than Branson, does that not even anger you?
It angers me.
My last tax thing, yeah.
It angers me.
They said that I owe too much tax. I think I paid too much tax, and they had the audacity to send me a letter saying that, oh, you did not pay enough tax last year. And I'm thinking,
exactly. I want Branson to be treated the same way. If I'm being treated that way,
listen. Shall I tell you how bad this system is? You know, it's so bad that Google said. You remember that time when everyone was saying, "Oh, Google are not paying tax. Google are not paying tax.
Starbucks aren't paying tax. This one is not paying tax." Yeah.
This is what Google did. Google organized a meeting with HMRC and they went into the room and they agreed to pay 20 million. I want that luxury too. I want to be able to say, "Yo, Rishi Sunak, can we have a meeting so that I can arrange how much tax I'm going to pay in the next few years?" I want that luxury too.
What's Alphabet's revenue that they want to pay only 20 million?
They're a $1 trillion company.
Exactly.
They're earning hundreds of billions of dollars every year.
And they only want to pay 20 million. What's that?
I was like, how is this even possible? How is this even possible? That's like legal corruption to me, man.
Legal corruption, bro.
Kind of put that 20 million versus like the UK GDP and probably how much revenue they made within the UK. It will account for like peanuts.
Yeah.
No, but do you know what bothers me? It's the fact that they were able to go into the room and have a meeting and say, "Yo, we agree that we're gonna pay 20 million."
Yo, when HMRC's after me, they don't give me no room to negotiate or anything, boy. Yeah. But just send that letter to my door and say, "Look, these are the penalties if you don't pay on time." No room for negotiation.
What does that tell you, though? Like it's just how the world is set up, innit? It's like
yeah, absolutely. That's why I can't be too mad at it.
Yeah, because like when you're kind of like seen as, you know, when you're not in the so-called, when in terms of like the chain, innit? When you're at the bottom of the food chain, kind of when you're you're going to have to actually just deal with
accept it,
whatever they bring your way. But people who are on top of the food chain, they're the ones that can actually dictate policy, because at the same time, they're the ones that would also you know, all the politicians that put in power, they get lobbied by them. They get their campaigns.
And I think that's
financed.
so wrong.
Yeah, but that's so
wrong. I think we need to look at a system like China. I'm not saying we should copy China entirely, but the multi-billion-dollar corporations in China, they cannot dictate anything to the Chinese government. Impossible.
Yeah, but that's because they work in partnership, though. They work in partnership. Black Ma works very, very closely with the Chinese government.
Fine, let them work in partnership, but at least in China, there isn't as many like homeless people per capita.
Not this again.
As we are seeing in the United Kingdom and United States of America.
Yeah.
Why is this the case? Why is this the case? I personally think that we should. I personally think that the government should always own a piece of a company that has significant dictation over the economy. That's my opinion. Like they do in the Scandinavian countries, like they do to a degree in Germany, like they do in China and Russia. My opinion.
The government should have a stake in their companies that make them a lot of revenue and stuff.
Companies that have a significant influence over their national economy.
Okay.
So,
like, for instance, in Norway,
you're saying nationalize the private.
No, I'm not saying nationalize. So like in Norway, let me give. No.
I was about to say that, and your mind is the what?
Let me give you an example. Let me give you Norway as an example.
I agree with what you're saying, but I know from what you normally say, it's contradictory.
No. Let me give you Norway as an example. In Norway, the largest oil provider is partially owned by the government. The largest bank in Norway is partially owned by the government. But there's still billionaires in Norway.
There's still what?
There's still billionaires in Norway.
Oh, okay.
And the level of pay between CEO and the lowest working organization isn't that significant because of the government's role in these companies. And Norway has the highest, if not the highest in the world, top 3 definitely highest way of living on this planet. They have a thriving middle class.
Yeah, they do.
Fantastic,
but they have a very small
wealth
population though as well, don't
fantastic sovereign wealth system because they're living below their means. What I'm trying to say is that fine, you can make money, but these super profits, my asthma, it's out of hand in the United Kingdom and the United States. You don't need
in the West.
Why is it that these banks need to make X amount of money? Why is it that these technology companies need to make X amount of money? Like why? Why do they have to be so greedy? Why?
I thought you love capitalism, Yoma.
I am a capitalist. I'll tell you, I'm a capitalist.
What do you mean?
I'm a card-carrying capitalist. I'm a capitalist in the sense that I believe capitalism has allowed us to create some marvelous things. Like the iPhone was born out of capitalism. Henry Ford, when he went to the factory in those days, that was born out of capitalism. You know what I mean? Things of that I love, and I think you need capitalism to have stories
because
like that.
it generates new ideas. But what you said too is you prefer the state to also have a stake in those. So you're talking about like a hybrid type system.
No, I prefer the state to have a stake in companies that can dictate the economy, dictate where the country is heading, so that you avoid mass scale of lobbying that we are seeing in the West in some countries, like the United States, like the United Kingdom. In the UK and the United States, the banks have run the country for a long time. It's shifting towards technology now because they are the guys for the big bucks. But for a very long time, the banks
banking though. It'll still remain banking.
So what you're trying to say? So what you're trying to say in short is that you're saying that companies that are huge that would eventually need bailouts from taxpayers.
Yep.
From taxpayers.
Government needs to have a stake in them.
So that
it makes sense.
Government needs to have a stake in them. Absolutely.
So you say that if Richard Branson, instead of
I don't think he's too big to fail. I think Virgin can fail and we can still.
No, but he doesn't. He doesn't. He doesn't own the whole Virgin Group, does he? Surely he's got partners and shareholders he can't own all of it.
In the UK, but in Australia, he owns it with 5 different partners. In Australia,
he's got partners.
Even Virgin, they already allowed them to go bankrupt in Australia.
I swear the Virgin here is with Delta Airlines as well. Delta Airlines are 51% and he has 49 here.
I don't know who he's with, but in Australia,
it's not just him. It's not just him.
They've allowed Virgin Australia to go bankrupt already.
Yeah. They went into administration. Yeah.
No problems.
That's why he's worried, isn't it? I'm sure he's been to banks before and tried to ask for the money, and they probably said no. And like going to government is like last resort.
Absolutely.
Because he doesn't know where to turn. Surely.
Yeah.
He must have gone to banks.
Why don't he do what Elon Musk did? Elon Musk put all his money into Tesla. Why can't Branson do the same?
Because not all entrepreneurs are the same. Not all entrepreneurs actually.
Then accept failure.
Money into
accept it.
Yeah, but
then you should accept it, maybe.
Sometimes, you know what? The difference is that I don't think you can even compare the two because, like, Elon Musk kind of backed his own idea, whereas
which is what you have to do sometimes. Which is what you have to do sometimes. If you have the means to back your own idea, why don't you back it? Why don't you back it?
I'm saying, but Elon Musk also, his product is kind of unique relative to Branson, it's something that's needed. It can still operate, but it's just within this short-term period of this pandemic, it's just hard. They're not making.
But they're both needed. You still need to travel. They're both needed, travel or car.
Yeah, but for now, given this current state we're in,
but people are not driving their cars now. Most people are at home as well. They've been affected.
Taking flights. How many people taking flights?
Yeah, no one. Look, the country's in lockdown.
So what happens?
What do you mean?
How are they gonna keep paying off their costs? How are they gonna keep operating?
That's not my business. Listen,
that's not my business.
You need business continuity plans, or you gotta have the things in. If X happens, this is how I'm gonna deal with it, or mitigate risks.
I don't know how much Branson needs. Pay up. Pay up.
You mean he should sell his assets to cover his sell your assets.
Pay up. So because I'm not allowing you to first say, oh, you want to furlough your stuff and then you want to get another bailout on top of that. It sounds like corporate madness to me.
You know what? This kind of also shows just the fact that you expect large multinationals
national companies
to have reserves in like this as well.
But some of them do, and it's like they don't want to use it.
Well, if the owner doesn't live below his means or her means, this is what's going to happen. Like, Berkshire Hathaway will never be in this position because
no way.
They safeguarded that company. He can pay everything without having an income for the next 5 years. Same with Microsoft, because they like to live below their means. They don't own fancy islands like Branson does. No one asked him to go and buy a fancy island with his money.
You know what? It's only because you're just against those kind of things. You're just a simple guy.
No, it's not about being a simple guy. It's not about being a simple guy. It's not about being a simple guy. Why should someone bail you after you've extracted money to go and buy yourself a few islands? Does that even make sense?
Okay, fair. All right then. I guess. Okay.
No, I'm still with you, Izzy. Like, that's the way the system is set up. So let me take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Don't back down. If I was in his shoes, I'd probably do the same thing.
That I cannot knock him for, but I don't think I don't think I would have been in that position personally, because I have no. If I'm worth billions, I have no need to buy islands. I mean, things don't really interest me.
Well, you say that now until that billions in your hands, boy.
knowing myself, I don't think that would happen. I'm not really interested in those things.
But also, don't forget that the island's also kind of like it's investment as well, right? It's real estate. So
it's an investment, yeah.
Don't look at it from the perspective as if you're just buying it to kind of. It's a real estate investment.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Good point.
Future. So let's not kind of like down. Like you said in the renting versus buying. Like you don't really believe in the property investment and all that kind of stuff because relative to other asset classes, it yields you.
No, I didn't say I didn't believe it.
Yeah, I was about to say that's a bit harsh.
I just said it's an okay investment.
There's better assets to be invested in.
Yeah. And I even read an article the other day that over the last, I think the last 20 years, real estate have done an average of 4 years per annum, while stocks have done 10%. You know what I mean?
I think there was someone in our previous episode who commented about, that 300 grand house, and in 2 years it'll be worth 360. After the post-financial crisis, if you bought then, you would have done that easily. But in this current climate we're going into, I don't think you're gonna make.
Yeah, everything's too high, basically.
Yeah, I don't think you'll be making them type of gains in property now. No way.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys,
it's beautiful.
In conclusion, I guess.
Let's conclude this.
We've got like a split conclusion here. For me, the way I see it, like I always look at it from the perspective of the system's built how it's built. However, if the system's built that way and my company's struggling, I will make use of what the government is giving, and also I would. It's smart, right? Because I'm being conservative, and also I feel like it might be in the best interest of the government to also kind of build up, give that loan, because it's not saying that he won't pay it back. He still will pay it back. It's just that we are. Yeah,
but why should I give him that money when Virgin Australia has already gone bust? Like, with this somebody to trust money with?
It's my conclusion, bro.
Yeah, that's Izzy's conclusion. That's Izzy's conclusion.
You just think something in my brain. That's why. Yeah, go on.
Like I said, like for me, I don't see anything wrong with it. You could maybe argue and question.
Yeah,
ethics.
You can argue both ways.
The way I see it is like I always think business versus personal net worth. I always kind of segregate what that means. Right?
Yeah.
What's your
that's your opinion. So my opinion is if you have a founder like the likes of Sir Philip Green, let me just mention Sir Philip Green because Branson is heading towards that direction.
Yes,
my man
he is.
Extracted money out of the pension pots, pocketed it, and he said, "Yo, we are bankrupt. We are bankrupt." That is criminal to me. I'm sorry.
That is criminal. That is criminal.
But that is basically what Branson's done, but in another way. So
in another nicer way, yeah.
A nice way. He's extracted money out of Virgin. Extracted money out of Virgin to buy islands, this and that, all that stuff there. He has to. That's just clearly.
Told him to start that space program or whatever it is. If you can't keep your house in order with the other businesses you got, what are you doing? Are you spreading yourself?
If you can't run your business without 3 months of income, I'm sorry, I'm not going to bill you. Listen, I make sure that I got an annual coverage of expenses up front.
Absolutely.
Like that's the
Absolutely.
I might be very conservative when I do that, but I feel like if you run a business, you need to be conservative in terms of that because you never know.
So and you're almost against the billionaire bailouts.
I am absolutely against it. I'm absolutely against it. There's no need. There's no reason why Branson should be getting bailout money from the government or our taxpayers' money. Absolutely not. No business.
For me, I'm putting myself in Branson's shoes and thinking, what will I do? And I'll probably do the same thing as what he's trying to do. But morally, I know that it's not right. And if I've created a business and stuff like that, I should be able to back my own self. But as we said, if the system is there to be used that way, why not?
There we go. And
there we go.
Guys, just make sure just let us know what you think. We want to hear your opinions on.
Absolutely. I'm sure there'll be a lot of different opinions on this one.
Want to know what would you do? Are you for or are you against billionaire bailouts? And we want you to tell us why. Leave comments below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow the podcast on MBC Podcast on Instagram, on Twitter. We are at mbcpodcast. Once again, it's Izzy, it's Yominator.
Taken out, I might need to change that because it doesn't sound too right when you say it, man.
Oh my days.
Like I said, it's Izzy, the Yominator, and Jermaine.
That's it. We're out.
Peace.
See.
And we out.
Out, baby.